Hello and welcome to the Spandex and Wine podcast. I'm your host, Robin Hackney, and I'm so happy that you're here. This podcast is a place for conversations about balancing a healthy lifestyle and being happy, more specifically, happy hour. Together, we'll explore all things wellness and wine. I hope you learn a little, laugh a lot, and along the way, know you're not alone on this balanced wellness journey. Ready to jump in? Pour something in your glass that makes you happy because it's time for Spandex and Wine. Hello and welcome to the Spandex and Wine podcast. I'm your host, Robin Hackney, and thankful that you're here. So I want you to think back to when you were 9 to 13 years old. For some of us, that's really reaching back into our memory banks, but I think we'd all agree that it's an awkward age. Our bodies are changing. We aren't quite teens, but we're not little. It's just a hard time. And I know for me, I had amazing teachers in middle school, and I'm so thankful to Ms Golub, Mrs Ream, Ms Winters, and so many others. I probably shouldn't even start mentioning names that were wonderful mentors and role models. And we all need those empowering women in our lives, especially during those years. Today's guest, Gina Lichte, does just that and more with Girls on the Run. She is an accomplished and award-winning leader with a strong commitment to advancing the mission and impact of organizations and serves as president and CEO of Girls on the Run of Greater Kansas City. She is responsible for driving positive change in communities and culture while activating limitless potential in Girls on the Run stakeholders, ensuring they cross finish lines, break barriers, and build confidence and character. In Lichte's tenure, the organization annually serves more than 5,000 girls in 18 counties, engaging more than 2,000 volunteers and providing more than $500,000 in scholarships. Under Lichte's leadership, Girls on the Run KC has become the second largest council internationally and in total, has served more than 25,000 girls and engaged more than 6,000 volunteers. The number of girls served each season has grown by 60% during Lichte's tenure. Before joining Girls on the Run, Lichte served as the Director of Leadership and Education at Women Leaders in College Sports, a national nonprofit dedicated to empowering women in college sports. Prior to joining Women Leaders, Lichte worked in higher education administration and taught student leadership development courses. She oversaw new student orientation programming at the University of Missouri, Kansas City, and before that at the University of Northern Colorado. A native of Lexington, Missouri, Lichte received her master's degree in communication studies from the University of Northern Colorado and a bachelor's degree in public relations from Northwest Missouri State University. Lichte is an advocate for education, health and wellness, fine arts, and living your best life. Let's jump into today's episode and learn more about this wonderful organization. Well, hello and welcome to the Spandex and Wine podcast, Gina. Thanks for being here.
Thanks so much for having me, Robin.
Yes, I've been so excited to talk to you because Girls on the Run is such a great organization. And I can't wait to hear, how you got involved with it. But if you wouldn't mind just starting with what it is.
Yep. Girls on the Run is a youth development organization targeting 3rd through 8th grade girls, helping them live a more joyful, healthy, confident life. Doing that through interactive curriculum. Girls meet 2 times a week where they're being coached by a volunteer. They're learning about themselves with others, how to be a good friend, stand up for others, and then themselves in the community. So really focusing on what it means to be an accountable citizen, how to give back to their communities. And we teach all of that through running. So the aspect, or through movement, really. It's any step forward, if it's a hop, a skip, a roll, all of that movement is counted. And through that, the girls are goal setting, and the end of the season is a celebratory 5K, which we're just 2 weeks post our annual or biannual 5K.
Nice.
Still the highlight of Girls on the Run year for me. Is always seeing those girls cross the finish line along with the different community supporters, whether it's a parent, a school teacher, a aunt, uncle, whoever is out cheering them on, and even just random community member who might not have any affiliation with an actual participant, but believes in empowering young women. Mm-hmm. We all see these people cross the finish line, and it is to me, the biggest day of collective joy in Kansas City, and very special to be a part of.
Yeah, how fulfilling. I mean, that would just be amazing. And there's not a better gift that you could give a young girl than confidence, and all of those life skills. It's amazing what you guys do. So thank you. And at that age too, my gosh. What is
Yeah.
it? What would it be 9 to 12, 13?
Yeah.
Wow.
And we're building out an opportunity for girls to stay engaged with the program as they age into junior high, high school, and beyond through leadership development as a junior coach so they can come back and mentor, girls from their elementary school or their middle school or any school, and also serve on a youth advisory board, which is new for us. We're 3 years in, and it's been such a great opportunity for high school girls to serve on a board and
Hmm.
to have more of a leadership voice within the organization. And yeah, so it's been wonderful to see the continuation of our girls in our program.
Nice. Yeah, that's great for them to learn how to give back as well. And then, yeah, I love that. I love that. So how do they get started with it? Is it offered in every school? Where are you guys?
So this last spring, and really in total this last year, we were in over 200 sites around 18 counties within greater Kansas City. So we span up to St. Joe, we span out to Lafayette County at the east of Kansas City, down to Cass County, like Harrisonville area on the Missouri side. We're over to Lawrence on the Kansas side, and then our bubble then comes in. And those 200 plus sites that we serve within our academic calendar year, we're partnering majority with elementary and middle schools. We do have a few community sites. So if kiddos don't have the program at their school, one, their caretaker can set that up and help advocate to get us into their school. We have a lot of teachers, whenever they move to different schools, they'll take us with them along with administrators. They see the power of the social emotional learning and development in their school and the impact of Girls on the Run, and will want to start it at their next school. But for families, if it's not at this current school that their kiddos at, they can help get us in that school, and also look for community centers nearby. We were at String Park, we were at Children's Mercy Hospital. So we have in like Blue Valley Rec Center, so we have kind of these community centric spaces that if we're not in schools in that area, then families can bring their kiddos there.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey guys, I need your help. I am in the running for Miss Health and Fitness 2024, and it all goes by votes. So I need you to vote. I'm going to put the link in the show notes, but you can also find it on Instagram. You can find it at spandexandwine.com. You can find it on Facebook on my personal profile, or on my Simply Fitness or Spandex and Wine. I'm going to put it everywhere. You can do a free vote daily. Thank you so much.
So Girls Run Kansas City has been around since 2007. And we actually had two different councils at that time, one on the Kansas side and one on the Missouri side. And then in 2012, we merged to make it Greater Kansas City area. And one of the origin stories on the Kansas side, Mom was reading about Girls on the Run in Runner's Magazine, Runner's World, and was so fascinated by this program, and went around in her cul-de-sac and recruited other moms and other girls. And there were 7 who made up the very first team. And that was 2007. And the mom worked at Garmin at the time, and her daughter who participated now also works at Garmin and is a coach for us. So it's been really fun to see their legacy continue. But from a team of 7 to serving almost 3,000 girls annually feels like such a beautiful legacy and impact that they were able to create in Kansas City.
Oh gosh, absolutely. And I'm wondering, do they stay in touch with each other? Is there like an alumni program?
And that we are building that out more, as mentioned, with the youth development or youth advisory board and junior
Right.
coaching. we're able to engage alum in that way. But then it's been fun adding our very first alumni to our bigger governing board for Girls on the Run. So seeing that engagement continue and seeing our girls at that age be able to step up and at a bigger level, use their voice in advocating, empowering the program. Yeah, so that's been fun. And that's been a build out for us too within our organization of how do we engage our alumni.
Yeah. And I know during your tenure, you said it's grown so much. How did you get started with the program?
Yep. So prior to Girls on the Run, I was working in women leaders in sports, and I oversaw their leadership development and programming, and loved the opportunity to work with women leaders in sports and finding how to advocate and elevate them into more leadership roles, overseeing sports teams, overseeing athletic departments. And what I was noting from my time working with these mid-career professionals is they had all of the skills, but their confidence, they didn't see themselves in those roles. And it's hard to see yourself in leadership if you don't have any models, and to know that you can do it. So thinking, helping younger women at a pretty foundational space of their life, instilling confidence then, and then knowing when they are mid-career professionals, like you can do anything you put your mind to. So for me, I was with women leaders for a few years, and then setting the intention that I was ready to elevate into my own leadership role. And I said that finally out loud at one of our leadership institutes. And later that day, the search firm that was hired by Girls on the Run, they had reached out and asked for me to apply for the position. So again, the idea of putting out into the world your own intention and setting that and saying that, how important that is in any goal that you might have, but then also just knowing when you're in the right place too.
Yes. Oh, I love that. Oh, that's wonderful. It's amazing what doors can open when you are open yourself.
Mm-hmm. Agreed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. And, I think it's just so cool too, because you're teaching them at a young age. You've used the word empowerment a couple times now, and it's so true. It is learning how to build the girl up next to you, not that you're in competition, that you're there together and you're there to help each other. And the
Mm-hmm.
earlier they can see that, the better all of us will be,
Mm-hmm.
all of society.
Mm-hmm. I'll share. I'm new to Kansas City. Well, I've been in Kansas City since 2011. And when I first moved to the community, I was so desperate for friends that I joined a running group. And I have never been a runner in my life. I've always been very active, but I never saw myself as a runner. And joining this group of women, and like the self-doubt I had going in of like, oh, I'm just going to slow you down. I'll be heavy breathing the entire time. I see you guys, chatting it up, and you're so fast, and all of these things, these voices or, stories that we have in our heads, and how with this group of women, they encouraged me, they cheered me on, and they helped me get faster. And then I was leading the group. So, I was like leading the pack at times. So the power of people around you and the encouragement they can give you. To me, I had my own Girls on the Run experience as an adult, and helping young people in the space of youth sports, how that can be sometimes, pretty competitive and sometimes negative, and it, can increase young people's anxiety. And when you are in space with more of your own personal mastery, and it's wanting you to be your best and me encouraging you to be your best, like we're just cheering each other on, that in my experience has been just such a healthy space to grow and develop and continue to get better every day.
Yeah, yeah. And you're right. Just taking that first step can be so scary. It's like going to a fitness class or like running or anything it might be, your first day of school, your first day of college. But taking that first step, once you do that, oh my gosh, amazing things can happen.
Mm-hmm.
So
The
many possibilities.
the idea of the beginner's mentality, and for someone who likes to have achievement or be a master of something, it can be hard. To your point, it can be very scary to have the beginner's mindset, but the beauty of trying something new and putting yourself in an uncomfortable space and the bravery that comes out of that. And, just one step at a time. And I don't know, for me, that always helps manage my own expectations for self and how that translates into so many other spaces of life.
Yes, yes. And I think the more we can do that, the more we can take those steps, the more we can learn new things, the better off we're going to be. We're going to be a more well-rounded person. We're going to be able to help the next person more. And I think it keeps us young too.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yeah,
Yeah.
there's something really beautiful about being a beginner.
Yes, I agree. I agree. So, okay, so if there's someone out there that's listening to this and they're like, "Oh, I want to get that started," what would they do?
For Girls on the Run.
Mm-hmm.
So if they don't currently have it at their school, and they're a parent or caregiver who wants to create this space for their kiddo, really advocating for us at their school, we have information online at gotrkc.org, that are resources to use when reaching out to your school administrators, also connecting with the staff at Girls on the Run. If you email us at info@gotrkc.org, we're happy to connect with you and, honestly, like walk through the steps together. But yeah, noting if you want to start at your school and it's not there, advocating with your administrator would be a great first step. I would also say too, if you're not a parent or caregiver, but still want to get involved in some capacity for Girls on the Run, we are volunteer driven. We have over 2,000 volunteers that are helping to make our mission come to life out in the community. So giving of your time is huge for us. And there's also data to back that when kiddos have mentors, they're more apt to have better attendance in class. They're more apt to have more confidence in class. So they're raising their hand more, they're participating. So the power of mentorship and the need. So that is something too, going onto our website, we will open volunteer applications for the next round of coaches in July of 2024. However, we also have a ton of one-off volunteer opportunities too for folks to get engaged today.
Yeah. So for the volunteer, I'm assuming that there is like a protocol and things that like there's a certain calendar that we would follow. Okay. Yes.
What's beautiful about our program is that it is curriculum driven. And we have great educators who have created this and have done a ton of research to really meet the need of the girl today. So that with all the social emotional development and learning for those kiddos, it's basically your playbook of what to deliver, the pace of which the curriculum needs to be rolled out. All of that is given to you in a binder or a spiral bound book. And we have a ton of coach resources to make sure that our volunteers have all that they need to be a prepared mentor for these young people.
Oh, I love that. I'm curious too, where was your 5K? What was your route?
Yep. So we have been out at Swope Park. We run around Mall Drive and Zoo Drive and go out onto Meyer Boulevard, we have great partnerships with Starlight and the zoo as well, and encourage families to make a full day of their experience out there. But it is so beautiful to be in one of the city's largest parks in this beautiful green space to host our families and to know like this is your community, like this is part of your community too. And make sure you're going to the zoo, making sure that we're empowering our partners as well. And promoting all of the community.
Yeah. But Girls on the Run is a national program, right?
Correct. Yep. So we're
Okay.
one of 200 councils. It's originated and based out of Charlotte, North Carolina. And Girls on the Run Kansas City, we're one of the top 10 councils in the country. So that feels really good with where we are in our market and how we're serving our community and how we're making impact.
Oh, that's awesome. Awesome. I love all of it. And I'm going to include all of that in the show notes so people can find that information. So if you're listening and you're wanting to be a volunteer or get your daughter involved, I'll make sure that that's in the show notes. What else would you want to add? What would you want people to know about Girls on the Run?
Hmm.
I mean, we covered quite a bit.
We did, and I oftentimes get well, I'm not a runner, so I can't be included. And to me, again, my mom has been a coach for us before, and she is not a runner, and it has only propelled her health, her movement. And so that, to me, just knowing that this is a space that anybody can get involved, no matter how they identify. And honestly, too, I always love hearing the volunteer feedback around this impacted me more than I think it impacted the girls. Like, my experience with them made me healthier, made me have more joy in my life. And I am a prime encourager for more health, more joy.
I love it. I love it. Oh my gosh. I so appreciate you taking the time to be here. This has been wonderful. Again, like I said in the beginning, I think it's a great organization. I've had clients of mine that were PE teachers. A lot of my clients, now that I think about it, are teachers, and they were involved in the program for a while too. So I know they spoke wonderful words about it too. So thank you so much
You're
for
welcome.
everything you
Robin,
do.
I even put
Oh my gosh. Okay.
in a wine glass. I'm ready. For this.
Okay, now let's go to that part. I just have water in my plastic cup, but you are fancy with water in your wine glass. I love it. I trick myself often by doing that. I put like sparkling water in my wine glass. But when it is happy hour time, what do you enjoy putting in your glass?
Well, I am a seasonal wine drinker, so this season would be a white wine of some sort. I am a big wine enthusiast. Typically that is what I like for my happy hour time frame.
Nice. So are you like a Pinot Grigio? Or are you a Sauvignon Blanc?
Oh, I'm a Savvy Bee kind of girl.
Okay.
But I also really don't discriminate too much, because I do like a Vino Verde or Pinot Grigio. Yeah.
Nice. Yes. Oh, wonderful. We're going out to a winery to kick off our summer tour this Sunday. So I'm excited about that out at
What
Somerset
winery are you
Ridge.
going to?
Somerset Ridge Vineyard and Winery. Yeah.
Cindy.
Yes, Cindy.
Yeah. She just shared that she'd taken a group of folks to Bordeaux to do a wine trip. And I was like, when can I sign up for that? Yeah.
I know. It was part of her wine club group. And I'm like, okay, that is a club I need to be in.
Mm-hmm. Fact. Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, I'll find out the details on that this Sunday then. So
Awesome. We share. Yeah.
okay. All right. Will do. Yes. Again, thank you so much for being here.
Yeah. You have a great afternoon.
A big thank you to Gina for sharing on the podcast today and for her commitment to young women everywhere. Here are a few takeaways. 1, the power of mentorship changes lives. Consider volunteering for Girls on the Run to give back and help young women build self-esteem, confidence, and develop leadership skills. 2, if you have a 9 to 13-year-old girl, reach out to your school to get involved in the program, or if it doesn't exist, start one in your community. 3, you can do anything you put your mind to. Put your intentions out into the universe, be open to new opportunities, and watch doors open. 4, women empowering women is the best. Work to be your best and encourage others to do the same. 5, always keep a beginner's mindset and try new things. You'll find all the links in the show notes. And if you enjoyed this episode, please share it with a friend. And if you could take a few seconds to leave a 5-star review, that would be amazing. Now, go grab your tennis shoes and get outside for some movement. Thank you for listening. If you're enjoying this podcast, be sure to follow Spandex and Wine so you don't miss an episode. To do this, just go to the podcast and click subscribe or follow wherever you are listening. Look for the plus sign or follow button. This is one of the best things that you can do for the podcast. If you'd also be willing to give a 5-star review, that would be amazing and much appreciated. Lastly, please share an episode with a friend or 5 to keep the love going, and join the Spandex and Wine community in our private Facebook group by searching Spandex and Wine. Feel free to reach out to me at any time by emailing info@spandexandwine.com or text me at 913-392-2877. I appreciate you. Thank you.